All right.
So, just a slight recap of last session. You guys landed in London. I didn't really describe what 1920s London is like. It's the most populous city in the world. It is covered in rolling fogs that are not related to the weather, but related to the factories, the chemical plants, the coal plants, the pig plants. It's all disgusting chemical clouds of greens and blacks and grays and yellows and browns. The Thames River is heavily polluted, and it is a like the most culturally prosperous city in the world. There's a reason it's, like the pea soup fog is real. Like there will just be green fog that will roll in the middle of the day that you can't see through.
Ew.
That it smells horrible.
Nasty.
So you guys walk through that, heading towards the Scoop newspaper where Jackson Elias stopped at and made friends with the proprietor. And one of you peered into a psychic's place and noticed she was staring at you, so you went in to say hi.
Mm-hmm.
She offered you guys a free reading where she started speaking in the voices of people who you knew were dead before she started speaking in a voice that two of you recognized from the golden mask that you put on.
Yeah.
I might as well read it. It's not that long.
And then he verbally harassed us.
Yeah, I'll just read it. Why not? Miss Pink was her name. Goes still, too still, then she rises, her joints cracking like timber under strain. Her head tilts back, and when her mouth opens, a voice, not hers, flows out, overlapping, discordant, sweet and venomous. A voice that does not echo over the room, but in your mind. Mortals, insects, dust dancing on the breath of dead gods. You burn cities, you unmask shadows, you call yourself hunters. You are nothing but heralds. You clear the way, you are useful. Peru was the prelude, New York was a whisper. The masks did not fall, they watched and they remember you. Then she snaps her head and turns to you. By the way, her eyes are, rolled back in her head white at this point. She says, Richard Hardwood, Little Seeker, do you still believe that law and logic might chart these depths? You think fists and bullets will halt the inexorable? You strike at illusions with trembling hands, muttering oaths to reason as if it could shield you. How noble you must seem in your fever dream. But tell me, brave one, when you break, and you shall, will you scream for them or for yourself? Her head snaps to Clifford. Dorian Clifford, such a delicious vacancy behind those eyes. You ache to understand, to peer into the gears of the cosmos and call it wisdom. You chase like a moth to flame, giddy, hungry, but there is no knowledge at the heart of it, only teeth. You saw the huntsman. Nodens granted you a glimpse. Nodens was merciful. I will not be. But even now you ask, what more can I see? What more will see it? Well, you will see it, child, and you will never look away again. Rosalind Voss, child of sigils and stolen rights, so certain, so proud, you sing the names of ancient forces and believe they will dance to your tune. Arrogant child, scribbling blasphemies on the margins of tombs older than your son, you presume to wield what was meant only to witness. The mask showed you Shub-Niggurath, and you dared to look back. You think yourself the gardener of powers born before time, but the roots so you nurture are not yours, and when they flower, they will not be gentle. McCarty, the bleeding ghost in a uniform. Do you think the answers lie in the rot beneath the earth? Egypt bleeds through your fingertips. You sift bones and ink and think the puzzle will yield. You chase patterns like a dying man watching the stars fade. But the Somme walks behind you, doesn't it? The dead from the Somme do not whisper to you, they watch. You think the Black Pharaoh is a riddle, but the riddles do not stare back. The masks are not gone. They have learned your faces. The hounds are already near. Zin shifts in sleep. Iram prepares its gates, and the sand remembers everything. You all bear the mark now, subtle, silent, screaming. The Black Pharaoh stirs in his painted tomb. Zin weeps in silence. The winds gather over Giza, and you are expected. Suddenly, Miss Pink's body twists as if pulled by invisible strings, erupts into blue fire. The screams she releases are not human, but 1,000 screaming mouths. The fire consumes her in a heartbeat, only leaving cinders, the smell of scorched roses, copper, and time. I need everyone to roll sanity check.
Now that
Damn.
was fucking creepy. Mm, 66 under 70.
Nice.
Hell yeah, first success of the night. Oh, we need to do
Oh.
a luck
Are
roll.
you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
57 over 56.
Okay. Sure. Well, we'll do the sanity roll then the luck roll. It does. Luck won't help you in a sanity roll.
Right.
I know.
Of course, fucking hardwood with rolling fucking rocks.
6 under 93.
Okay, so everyone who passed, you take 1d4 sanity damage. Clifford,
Man,
you take 1d6.
That's bullshit. I should take.
God damn it, I took all
None.
4. What the fuck?
Damn, bro.
Yeah, 1.
I don't know why it keeps doing that. 5.
Okay, 5. I need you to roll a intelligence check.
$43 under 50.
Oh, great, you passed it. So, it affects everyone else. Like, seeing this happen, hearing them called out, and knowing that something knows more about them than they feel they know about themselves. You can all do your luck rolls, by the way.
Give me 1 second.
you
Foundry
roll over
crashed
your luck
for me.
roll. Okay. But you, Dorian Clifford, like it. You realize what this means. What it means to have this being. You remember the Peru. You remember it speaking to you in the mask. You remember all of this, and now it is personally calling you out and welcoming you into its embrace. Man, double check a book real quick.
What do we add for luck?
D10.
Or what do we
The
roll for?
D10.
Okay. I don't even remember. Solid.
Am I the only one that fucking rolled under? This is bullshit.
Yeah. I think so. Okay. Not the worst.
A moment, I did not have the right. I need to grab a chart real quick.
I imagine, like, this fucks up Billy pretty good, but like, he doesn't want to really show it. He just kinda leans back in his chair. Well, I guess I really shouldn't be too surprised about anything
Yeah.
anymore, but boy,
Roll a
that fucked up.
d10, Jacob.
All right.
Anybody else think that's fucked up? No, just me. All right.
Hardwood rolled a 1, so I'm just gonna say
10.
Hardwood's like, man, that was fucked.
What'd you roll, Jacob?
All right, let's move on.
Wait. Hey, I feel like after that, just
Oh, perfect. Roll a d100, Jacob.
Damn.
27.
That's interesting. So, This feeling that you've been watched and that all of your actions have been observed by something that seems to desire and despise you at the same time makes you very uncomfortable.
Okay.
And you are filled with the urge to hide away in your bed like a child. It's not anything that's gonna like it's more of a role play thing, except in certain situations where you may be in the where you getting out of bed calls for a roll, which would be rare. But your character, like when you're waking up and getting out of bed, this vision of this woman speaking to you in a voice that is anything but human, saying how it's watching you and wants you to come to its embrace this insanity, just fills you with the desire to not leave your bed.
So he got depression.
No, it actually has a name.
Hmm.
Clinomania, excessive desire to stay in bed.
Interesting.
That describes me in real life.
Right? I was gonna say, just for roleplay purposes, well, despite Voss
I
kind
added
of
it. If you look under your sanity page, you can see it.
For me.
Yeah. And you basically go into a panic attack when this happens.
Great.
What's everyone else do?
well, I imagine Rosalind Voss, like, even despite, her passing her sanity roll and only taking a little bit of sanity damage, I feel like that experience is just enough to make her jump up out of the chair and just kind of like be in a state of shock almost, where she's kind of like clutching at her chest, going like, and like breathing just very heavily for a moment and going like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck? That type of like she's losing her cool just a little bit.
And
Like he's like,
yeah, so Billy is just like I said, like he's just kind of like sitting back in his chair. Like, I imagine it's like a stationary chair and he's kind of like pushing it back up on the back two legs. And like he's trying to play it cool, but he's shaking like a fucking leaf. And he pulls out a cigar, puts it in his mouth, and is like having a hard time light it. Fuck, shit, fuck. And he finally lights it, takes a long drag out of it.
What about you, Hardwood?
For Harwood, I think, based on his role, he grabs his gun. He doesn't really know where to point it at, but he's just like looking around.
I want to point out there's not even ash from where she was. There's just this smell that's kind of acrid, coppery. But there's not even ash. There's not even burn marks on the chair she was sitting in.
Yeah,
You
so
felt
then
no heat from the fire.
he's just looking around like it's in there with him, but he doesn't know where.
Then he just starts shooting randomly at everyone.
He just starts threatening everyone. You're it. No,
And Clifford,
he
like
just starts scanning the room like frantically.
Clifford, like I said, you do have some sort of panic attack. How do you want to play it?
He I think he pretty much just kind of hyperventilates and kind of passes out right there on the table. Like he just kind of goes in a state of, he just goes in a state of shock.
Okay. So, I don't know if you guys are going to help Clifford, but just to remind you, you did walk into the psychic's place, and now she just burst into flames. You are down the road from the scoop. You can continue to head there. You can take him back to the hotel. You can go to the pub. You can do whatever you want.
I'm just gonna stand up, take another long drag out of my cigar, slowly release it out, like, you know, release it out and walk over.
Hardwood
Dorian
is gonna
starts
say.
slapping him on the face, trying to get him to wake up. Hey, wake up, Dorian, wake up.
Hardwood will kind of just tell him like, "Hey, you guys check on him," and then he goes to the window and looks out to see if he can see if anyone saw anything, like if there was anyone on the street.
I was gonna say, Rosalind has this like overwhelming like urge to just get out of there. Just because she just wants to kind of like push past this memory of this woman just spontaneously bursting into flame and literally nothing is left of her. So at the same time, like she's helping why can't I not think of Garrett's character's name?
Billy.
Billy. She's helping Dr. McCarty kind of help with Dorian, you know, kind of like shaking him a little bit, saying, "Hey, like we need to get out. We need to get out of here. Let's go, Mr. Clifford. Let's go."
So does Hardwood see anyone outside?
I mean, it's the middle. It's kind of early in the morning. There's streets of people just walking by. The
But
fog
it doesn't
actually.
seem like anyone like stopped to stare or anything.
The fog isn't that bad. I mean, it smells like chemicals in factory, but like no one's stopping and staring. Like,
Okay. Is there a back way out?
yeah, there's a door into the alleyway nearby.
Okay. Hardwood will usher them out. Is Dorian awake at this point?
Yeah, Garrett slapping him kind of woke him up.
Yeah, he's just kind of muttering a little bit, but he's allowing himself to be let out.
Okay. Hardwood's like, "Get him out. Let's go. Out the back."
Yeah, and
I was gonna say,
Billy's still shaking like a leaf. He's like on the verge of a PTSD attack.
yeah, we don't want that to happen.
Yeah, that's why Hardwood's just trying to get you all out the back into the alley.
I was gonna say, Rosalind is gonna help kind of Clifford. Like I imagine her kind of like helping him lead, or yeah, she's helping lead him out of there. And but as she looks around, can I make like a shoot, like a spot hidden check to kind of see if like anything catches her eye on the way out?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, would anything like stand out that we might want to take a look at?
Yeah, feel free to roll.
Yeah, 66 over 60.
I got a 9 under 52.
I'm just gonna say that I'm way too focused on getting out of there. So I just don't see anything as I pass by.
Hardwood, you don't
has-
notice anyone staring at you or looking at you any way that you would assume would be weird.
Okay.
So are you guys heading to the like? You're
I
peeling back to.
I
your
wanted to
normal
know
self,
if there was like
Clifford.
anything of interest in the building with us.
Oh, I mean, in the building,
Yeah, like
everything
Since
you'd
we're heading out.
associate with a psychic is in there. There's some weird books on mysticism, like a lot of the Victorian type of mysticism. A lot of the occult books, which all of you have read because they're everywhere and they're not really occult.
gotcha.
There's, crystal balls, incense, tarot cards, things like that. Nothing that like seems
Out.
of the
Like-
mythos.
Gotcha.
Damn, we kind of just killed this poor lady.
We didn't kill her. We didn't do nothing. All right. Out to the street. Or back alley, really.
Like I said, it just seems like a normal day in London.
Hardwood will ask, so what do you guys want to do? You still want to head over there? Or you need to go back to the hotel?
Well, I for one don't think that we can let these beings, whether divine or otherwise, whatever are watching over us win. There's obviously some fucked up shit happening, and they kill without restraint. I think we need to keep pushing forward.
Voss is going to just kind of say, like, through right, she's shaking a little bit, but she's kind of steeling herself just slightly. But she's going to I'm going to be inclined to agree with Mr. McCarty over there. I think we need to move on. I think the pressing matter of the fact of the matter is that we need to continue on, even if just to get more information. We don't know enough about what's going on. We have glimpses of what we just experienced, but other than that, we need to know more. So I think our next best bet is to go to the scoop.
All right, Dorian. What about you?
You guys can go on ahead. I'm gonna head back home for a little bit.
Where do you want us to meet you?
I'll be back at the house.
So he's
And
going
he's
back
just-
to his London flat.
Yeah, he's just gonna walk off and leave them there.
All right.
Not really waiting for any more response.
Oh, I don't really think it's a good idea to be splitting up right now. This is not good.
Boss,
see
why
he's
don't you
still
go with him?
shaking while puffing on his cigar.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Me and McCarty will go to the scoop. You go with Dorian. Make sure he's all right.
I was gonna say, Voss gets. You kind of see something flash, like behind her eyes, like a memory, and she remembers the last time she was with Dorian. They got attacked by that creature. But then she kind of like shakes it off and just says, "All right, I believe it's the best idea to look after each other, especially in this sense." So, I guess she will follow Dorian with it. But then she asked, will you be okay?"
We'll be
We'll be
alright.
fine. We'll be right behind you. We'll be quick about it.
Between me and
See you
Mr.
back.
Hardwood right here, we'll kick anything's ass that comes in front of us.
She's gonna laugh a little, which is the first time in a little while she's laughed, but she's gonna nod and say, "Best of luck. I'll see you back." And then she follows after Dorian.
So we'll skip a bit. The offices of the Scoop are easily found on the third floor of a shabby building in Fleet Street, which is where you guys are at. So I take it you guys are walking in.
Yeah?
Yep.
You see a very it's relatively small newsroom that seems like it has too many people in it for its size. Stacks of papers, file folders, file cabinets. Like it seems a bit chaotic in there. But you do see a central desk with a relatively like healthy looking Irishman. If you look in people, you should see people of England tab. and you should see Mickey Mahoney. Let me know if you can see that.
This is people of New
Yeah,
York.
I only have people in New York.
Okay, let me see if I can get it to actually.
I didn't mean to.
Hold on a second, it didn't go through right.
As we're walking, I'm just kind of talking to Hardwood more than anything, just trying to calm my nerves. You know, I've seen some real fucked up shit fighting in that war. A lot of good people died around me. That's a first though. I've seen people burn to death, but not quite like that before.
All the lucky ones died in that war. Anyone that was over there who came back didn't really come back. But this is on another level.
I'm inclined to agree with you on that. I don't even know what we're doing anymore. Seems like we're fighting against gods. The gods that most people don't even exist. If we just left them alone, you think they would leave us alone?
I don't think we have that option anymore. They know about us. Obviously. They know our names. I think it's a little too late to turn back.
If you were able to go back in time, would you change it? Would you ever go on that adventure in Peru?
Can't say I really thought about it. Especially not recently.
So, do you guys walk up to the desk? Oh, you should be able to click people and see people of England now.
Okay, there we go.
No, geez.
Oh, man. Alright.
Like, that looks like a Mickey Mahoney.
He's got a big fat stogie in his mouth, a bottle of fucking whiskey on his desk, and it's covered in paper.
I still just have people in New York.
It's kind of like
Oh, I forgot to save
at
it.
the
I'm
top.
bad. I did it wrong.
There we go, people of England.
And he looks over to you guys and he's like, "What brings you into my office today?"
Office?
Oh, yes, the office of the school.
Yeah. Got any place we can talk more in private?
Oh, anything you can say in front of my men here.
Well,
You know I pay well for good stories.
yeah, but some information, some conversations are best had behind closed doors. Then it can be determined who needs to hear it for the greater public, if you will.
Or over a drink?
I like you. You've got the right idea. Let's go step out on the fire escape here, eh? He grabs the bottle of whiskey, steps out onto the fire escape, and invites you out there with him.
McCarty steps out behind him, pulling a pipe out of his coat. He lights it and then takes out a flask full of gin.
For a second, I thought you were going to braid him with a lead pipe.
I know,
okay.
I was like, does Hardwood need to stop this? Like,
No. Tobacco pipe. Tobacco pipe.
Okay.
alright.
So it's like,
Although that would be pretty fucking funny.
so he takes a slug of whiskey and then says, "So, what's so important you had to drag me out of my office?"
Let's see. And what? Can you remind me what made us go here
Jackson
again?
Elias
It was
stopped by
Jackson.
here and told Kensington, and Kensington told you that, hey, Jackson Elias stopped here to look at some
Gotcha.
newspapers or something.
You remember the name Jackson? Jackson Elias?
Well, that's that American author. Heard over the wire that he died some sort of gruesome murder. Damnable shame. Like the man.
Yeah.
Read some of his books. He promised me a big lead about some cult in London. Never followed up with me again.
See, me and my buddy here were really good friends with Mr. Elias, and
Well, we were.
yeah, we were there the day that he died too. You know, terrible tragedy.
Terrible, terrible. Sorry to hear that. But well, tell me your business, and then I'll let you in on mine.
Well, what did he tell you about this cult?
He just mentioned that there was an evil cult operating in London, in the heart of the city. He mentioned it might be well connected, but didn't have any hard proof. I never got the story, but if you find it or any other good stories, I'll happily take them and pay handsomely. 15 English pounds a pop. As long as the story is juicy enough, of course.
Well, just to let you know, pretty sure that cult is what got Jackson killed.
He pulls
So
out like a notepad and starts writing notes.
don't know if it's something you really want to write about.
Well, of course. Look, here at the Scoop, we take journalism seriously. We'll report anything. Odd, saucy, gruesome. They all pay great. Hell, if you get some photos of some models, the more scandalous the better, or royal. Whew, I'll pay you a fortune for that.
Well, I might have some photos for you.
I knew I liked you. So, you hear about what Elias was after. He was looking at some papers when he stopped by. Thought they were related with the cult. I'll let you look at them as long as you promise to keep me in the loop about what you find.
Sounds like a fair deal.
He yells. He peeks his head in and yells at this small dainty woman who was working there to go find several issues of the paper. She runs by him, and then he slaps her ass as she runs by.
Of course he does.
Do you have any more questions for him, or do you want to see the papers?
Do want to see the papers, but what if I give him one of the photos that's like kind of suggestive, but it doesn't really. There's nothing definitive about it.
Okay, are you talking of creepy Cthulhu shit or of a naked woman?
Creepy Cthulhu shit.
As Bacardi sees you doing this, hey, are you sure that that's a good idea? Thought we kind of decided that the less people that saw this shit, the better.
Well, I believe in free speech and journalism and how everyone should be able to see and buy my paper. And see the stories on them, too. That's important.
Well, that's
'Cause there's-
exactly the problem.
There's the one where it's like a wing, but it really doesn't show you anything other than the wing.
So it could have been a bird.
Yeah, it could have been a bird, just an up close shot of the bird.
You mean the one with the wing, but you can see like weird arms under it?
Kind
It could have been
of.
a bird with a guy on under it. Like it landed on something and was about to take off. You never know.
He'll take a. Let me see.
But yeah, I thought the goal here was to not really.
Harwood doesn't care. This isn't Delta Green. He's trying to get paid.
He's like, I'm going to record shit. I'm going to get paid for it.
I'll let you make a charm roll. If you can convince him to buy this blurry photo of something that just kind of looks off.
That's all I want.
If you tell him a story, if you tell him a bit of a story about what it was and how you got the picture, I'll let you get a bonus die.
Oh, it does not matter anyways. Completely failed.
He tells you he
Picture
has
is
to
too
think
blurry.
about it. But he reminds you that any stories he'll be happy to buy them. If you look at handouts, you can see the 3 newspapers that Jackson Elias keenly looked at.
All right.
Should be able to see them in there, right?
And handout, I just think England now.
You don't see Scoop 1, 2, and 3 in there?
Nope.
Listed?
Nope.
Nope.
Maybe I need to give you guys permission for it. 1 second.
You're terrible at this. I mean, about the same as me, so.
Now, tell me if you can see Scoop 1.
Yep.
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 Now I see Scoop 2. Well, as a story-wise, Hard will just say, if we find any more, we'll let you know, and we'll just kind of take these copies
All right.
back to the apartment, penthouse, whatever it is.
So you're heading back to Dorian Clifford's London flat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will actually be in the state. So just to give you a rough overview of the newspapers, the Scoop 2 is in, where's that, Derbyshire? Or...
Derwent Valley?
Yeah, Derwent Valley. Yeah, that is... Lesser Edale is where the Lesser Edale in Derbyshire. Is where that one takes place. It's about a day train ride up there, a day train ride back. The Shocking Canvas Craze, the first one, that is in London. And the third one is also just about some London murders. So I'm going to get some water real quick while you guys look over these, read these, and talk about them and figure out where you want to go with your clues. You also have the Pennu Foundation as a clue as well.
Let's see.
Pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up.
I'm interested about this artist one. From Scoop 1.
The second one says someone seriously assaulted on third victim.
Yeah, but they don't give out that third victim.
But we might be able to figure out who that is and maybe talk with them.
Harold Short was the one that was nearly killed.
Hardwood, make a luck roll.
Yeah, Hardwood.
Okay. Damn. $21 under 62.
You reading this canvas story reminds you, like, something about it reminds you of a vision you saw in the Golden Mask. Something about horrible paintings.
Oh. Hmm. Interesting. That's not scoop 2.
Scoop 1, like canvas
Oh.
craze or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we definitely might want to go talk to Mr. Shipley.
Is that what everyone wants?
Well, what do we want to do first?
Well, when Dorian
Did
went
I
back,
tell? Did I tell everyone about my vision?
I'm not sure if you told them the details.
I don't even remember. Let's see if I wrote it down.
Yeah, I guess at this point I probably would tell the rest of them. If I had not. Because that was the second vision?
I believe so. Yes, it was the second vision.
I don't have it.
You don't have it?
Yeah, you recall walking up this like a crowded stairwell in a house, and like at the top of the stairs there was like a bunch of paintings that were gruesome and horrific.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would be interested in going to see the art one. But I mean that's up for everyone else too.
Garrett, Jacob.
well, I'm trying to think about my character's state of mind still right now.
Okay.
I
Because
think
we're at the flat at this point.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure at this point, Billy is just kind of like quietly sitting there and just like keeps reading each of these articles, and you you've noticed that he's had to refill his gin more than once.
If your characters want to take a day to,
Yeah, I was gonna say Harwood's just gonna be like, maybe it's best we all get some sleep before we do anything about these.
everyone okay with that?
Let's get some food.
I'm gonna make a roll to decide. I think my character is thinking about doing something. He's gonna make a roll.
Okay, do it.
All right, he's not gonna do it for now. He's considering it, but he's not gonna do it right now. He's just gonna agree and say, "Let's get some food." He's also drinking gin right now to calm his nerves.
All right. So are you guys going to wait a day?
Yeah, I guess we would wait until the next morning. Hardwood is going to try and see if he can find any information. I guess like at the library, if there's like a library close by, more about these cases, or if these are the only articles on this.
Yeah, Billy just gets absolutely smashed.
All right. So there is like the British Museum, which is linked to the British Library. Fun fact, it was the world's first free national public museum.
All right.
The issue is the British Library is only available to scholars of significant merit, and a letter of recommendation must be provided upon visiting. On the bright side, McCarty should be able to write a letter of recommendation for you.
Now, Hardwood just tells him to sign this.
What do you want me to sign?
I just need to head over to the library. All I need is your signature.
Oh, why do I just
And,
go
and
with
go
you?
back to your drinking.
I'll just go over to the library with you. He goes like stand up, fucking stumbling.
Yeah, you can come with me tomorrow. How about you just sign this and I'll get you some more gin?
He's got a deal. He, he just signs it.
My man.
You going with him, boss?
Um,
Yeah, what are you doing? You drinking too? You look gone, or am I going alone?
no,
Or
I was gonna say you're going to the library, right?
yes.
Yeah, I'll go with you. It's the only place I'm
Clifford,
useful.
Look, I got
Clifford
my
is also
scholar
not like
with me.
Clifford's also not like fully on drunk right now. He's just drinking to calm his nerves, and I would say right now he's actually headed back to his room and to continue reading his book.
Yeah, Billy was trying to get the Battle of the Somme out of his head.
What, the Dark God mentioning it to you? Did it do good for your sanity?
No, I took 4 sanity.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah, he's struggling right now.
Okay, so you guys head to the library. We don't have to role play it out. You hand the letter of recommendation. They recognize Dr. McCarty. Of like, it's not like he hasn't been through here before. He's got a name as an Egyptologist, so they let you in without much fuss, but remind you that the books stay in here and not be careful not to damage any books and be quiet because it's a library. So, what are you guys looking for?
First, any kind of like similar articles.
Okay. Roll a library use for me. What about you, Anna? What are you looking for?
Um, so is this like Miles Shipley? Is he like a renowned artist, or is he just more of like one that just kind of popped up out of nowhere, just out of the blue recently?
You get the idea from the article that he just kind of popped up out of nowhere.
Okay.
I got a 1 under 60.
The fuck?
eh,
Why do you roll so well?
yeah.
I would say that is a crit success.
It is. So, on the Scoop 3 article, you do find several reports in quick order of people getting murdered and going missing.
Okay.
throughout London. Um,
And they're
and
like
you
similar
do find
cases.
some more information about an Inspector Barrington, and he believes to be the one who's in charge of the investigation,
Got a name.
and
Okay.
how he's hasn't commented to the didn't comment to the scoop, but he did make a comment to other more reputable papers about how the whole standard. We have some leads. We're looking through them. Blah blah blah. The whole non-talk type stuff. Say nothing substantive.
Yeah.
Because he got a crit success. So, reading about the Scoop 2 article, you do find that there is a legend in that area of the black dog of Derbyshire.
Okay.
You just hear about a legend. It sounds like a typical werewolf legend, where like every now and then a wolf monster will kill someone.
Gotcha.
It
The
goes
black.
back quite a while, but it's very inconsistent, like about when the attacks happen. And of course, you read stories about people getting grizzly killed. Everyone blames the black dog. Then it turns out it's some psycho with a knife who's probably a Frenchman. But you do find out that. And Anna, what were you looking for? More about Shipley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To see if like his name popped up anywhere else or
Go ahead and did you give me a library use roll?
no, I didn't. Here.
Go ahead, give me one.
Please, 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 please. Holy shit.
You find it, but it takes you a little longer.
Hold on.
And
just goes, what are you looking for? And he helps her.
Shut up.
yeah, you find that a few people have apparently met Shipley and purchased some of these paintings and looked into them. One moment. Let me just make sure I have all the names. Yeah, you find an article in the Passions about it's an upmarket art periodical for collectors. It's not a major feature, um, but an unnamed reporter speaks with gushing praise of young Shipley's work, which is described as a wondrous cavalcade of outlandish fantasy and nightmare. The article ends by stating the artist welcomes private collectors and gives his address in Holbein Mews. I don't know where the fuck that is. It sounds made up. Investigators with yeah. So you also read that a few names you might recognize. Well, a name you will recognize. Apparently, Aleister Crowley went and purchased one of these art pieces and called it an ode to Bacchus and its audacity.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But you are given an address. Oh, you also see Allegrin Blackwood, writer of supernatural stories. He purchased it said that he purchased a Shipley as well.
There is one more thing. Can I look into the legend of the black dog, or was that kind of
Kind of
all
what?
that I was getting? The black dog of Derby.
Give me one moment.
Derwent.
Derwent.
Yep. The
Derby.
Derbyshire. It's Derbyshire.
Yeah.
There's like 3 names there, but that's just different constables and shit like that. And because Derbyshire has a constable who, like, a single constable who handles like 2 local towns in that area. Just making sure we didn't miss anything. Well, look, there is a lot of legends of the Black Dog, and they're like real legends. This is like an actual real legend.
Okay. I figured. I think I've heard that before.
Yeah, they're associated with churchyards, crossroads, ancient paths. They're known with like as hellhounds.
Yeah,
There's like a whole bunch of names they're known of.
Yeah, I was referencing it during our D&D session.
Like, the more you look, the more legends you see. There's a lot of folklore about black dogs.
I didn't know if there was anyone, like, any that was, like, specific to that area.
There's a lot of legends in that surrounding area. But, like, to pin it down, like, there's reports in Derbyshire, but there's reports all over England. But
Gotcha.
yeah. But this is the most recent one by far.
Gotcha.
That's about all you guys are going to get from the library at this point without more leads and knowing more what to look for.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. I guess we would head back after that.
You guys going to bed? Well, eating dinner, enjoying yourselves, relaxing, reading books, then going to bed?
Floats around relaxing, but yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to make the roll one more time.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Nicholas, are you trying to bang the maid?
Of course.
Okay. I'll let you make a luck roll first.
Come on. I don't have gonorrhea.
Sorry, syphilis.
I don't have syphilis.
Yet.
22 under 62.
Okay, now make a charm roll for me.
Ah, fuck. That I'm not going to succeed. I know that. Oh, wait. 19 under 22. Hell yeah.
You do manage to catch the maid around where no one else happens to be. And you end up, hitting it off really well with the maid, and you remind her which room you're staying in if she ever gets lonely.
This is how Hardwood deals with his insanity.
Clifford, do you have to do anything special or no?
Nope.
Okay. Is everyone going to bed?
I am going to read my book
Okay.
before I sleep.
Hardwood, make another luck roll before you go to bed.
Ooh. Ooh, that was a lot closer. 59 under 62.
The maid stops by your room that night.
Dude. Sorry, Jacob. Your maid's
She can't resist the hardwood.
oh my
I'm
goodness.
going to make you do one more check. Don't worry.
Has nothing to do with me. The butler's going to know about it, and then she's going to be out of employment. So, good job, Hardwood. You got a woman fired for a night of fun.
That's okay. He can have one. He can have one
Yeah.
of his other illegitimate kids.
Tro's fucking slowly repopulating.
He's helping bring back
He's the
after
new,
World War One.
He's the new Genghis Khan, bro.
Make a I'm trying to think what would be the best roll here. I'll make you do two separate rolls. Make an appearance and a constitution roll.
Okay. 33 under 65 for appearance.
You're gonna pass the constitution, I know it.
85 under 90.
She has a good time. Okay. So all of you reading your books, you make progress in your books. Like I said, it takes a while to get through them. I am keeping track of that, by the way. You all awake to actually, let me roll one more thing real before you all wake up. And then one more. Okay. So you all wake up, food's prepared. Serving staff are bringing you guys food and tea. It's a night, like the fog has settled in thick today in London. Like it's just kind of gross looking outside. But are you guys doing anything or heading over to Shipley's place?
I wasn't gonna do anything special. I was just gonna head on over.
Billy shows up in the
Hardwood would
kitchen.
share the information he found out in the library first.
Well, yeah.
In the morning.
One second. Jacob, make a luck roll.
$60/44.
You haven't specifically heard of this artist, but you do know of Aleister Crowley in Blackwood.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, you've probably run into Aleister Crowley several times in Blackwood in your occult dealings.
Right.
So
But not specifically this artist. I've never heard of him.
no. You're actually surprised it's never crossed your desk because you would have went and probably purchased a painting. Weird, occult, uncomfortable paintings seem right up your alley.
Well, now the article's got me going, shit, now he's talking to the other side as well.
So, are you guys heading out to please?
Yeah.
Clifford's going to agree that that's the best course of action. Apparently, he wants to talk to him.
Okay. On your way out, your butler asks to speak with you, Clifford.
Yep.
He says, "Sir, I would like to just inform you that Catherine, one of the younger, newer household servants, was apparently cavorting with one of your guests last night. I'm not sure how you would like me to handle that."
All right, well, first, have her go to the doctor.
All right, I'll send her to the doctor. Would you like me to?
Send her to the family doctor. We'll need to know. And just don't do anything until I get back, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. This is going to be fun. All right, so
Now I'm just Now I'm just giving hardwood the stink eye.
You already know who it was? You don't think it was McCarty?
No, he knows exactly who it is because he told them not to when they first got there.
So, you know your way
Plus,
to where.
he assumes McCarty. As this guy
Wait.
said, he also just assumes McCarty was absolutely passed out drunk last night.
Yeah, McCarty didn't even make it to the bed. He was on the chair in his room with flask on his chest, snoring like a fucking buzzsaw the whole night. But you know your way to that district, and with the address that Boss got, you do find your way to Shipley's house. So it is in Chelsea, in West London, with the River Thames to the south, Knightsbridge to the north, Belgravia to the east. Chelsea's for lower middle class. Further from the rivers, the area's prosperity rises with upper middle class, centered on Sloane Square, considered by those living there to be part of the upmarket Kingsbridge. Generally, close packed houses of homes of tradesmen, shopkeepers, and artists. And it's kind of got a bohemian air to the borough. Each morning sees a mass commute of people going to their day jobs, then coming home in the evening. The streets are pretty quiet throughout the day. You do find your way to Shipley's home. Sits in a terraced row of houses and is a two-story brick building in need of repair. Every window is barred as well as locked shut and tightly curtained. There are, as you walk by, you notice there's a front and a rear entrance. Tall brick wall surrounds the rear garden, and large trees obscure the view from neighboring windows overlook the garden. And the rear gate is accessed via a lane along the backs of the properties. So it just kind of looks like a normal house. You're there, you know, right around noon.
Did you say it's noon?
Yeah, right around noon.
This is his house?
Yes,
Or what?
and it did say in the